Hello, welcome back to the Nova Speakeasy. I hope you guys are enjoying your summer, and I do want to say hit that like button if you want to run away from Vecna, because we know he's coming through our dreams. My name is Nova, or aka Lewis, and today we got a special episode because today we're going to talk about Stranger Things Season 4, Volume 1. So before I even start with Stranger Things, I do want to say I love the season. Do not get it twisted. I love the season. But I do want to say I do have a complex relationship with it. There's things that I really love, really hate sometimes, and it just gets me hype every time I watch an episode because it just feels weird. And I'm going to get to that more and everything that really didn't disappoint me in the season. I do also want to say there's also spoilers in this episode. So be warned, and let's just get into the video. So Stranger Things 4 Volume 1 basically takes place 9 months after what happened in Season 3 at the end. We get to see the lives of the characters that we really loved and enjoy watching throughout the series. We also see some conflicts and trauma after the events of Season 3, especially within Max. We see the conflict within Max, we see conflicts within Eleven, and even Will still. We especially see Eleven losing all her powers from Season 3 and now getting bullied within the school while Will is trying to support her. And Mike is just getting to know what's happening within her life and being lied to throughout the beginning. And we see our other group of characters, Steve, Robin, are still having that strong relationship as friends. They had a good conversation about boobs in one scene. And then we see the lives within Max, Lucas, and Dustin, where they're somewhat separated. Lucas is now in the basketball team. Dustin is still trying to be friends with this new character, Eddie, continuing his life in D&D. And Max still living with the trauma that she lost her stepbrother through the attack in the mall from last season. And especially the fan favorite of Hopper, where he's still stuck in that Russian prison, and we see Joyce and Murray still trying to rescue him after they figure out that he's still alive. And that's basically much of their storylines within this season, and there's a little bit of subplot within it, and we'll get more into that in the pros and cons of this review. Let's really start off strong with the pros, and I like to say that I really love the characters. I still love the characters throughout the season and throughout the series. We see the conflicts more deeply. We see Will deal with some trauma of dealing with the Upside Down in season 2, but we really see the true effects of depression and feeling that survivor's guilt from Max, where it just got you emotionally. Even from episode 4, I believe, where she got stuck in the Upside Down with Vecna, and you really thought she was going to die in that scene where it was just all red, blurry. She didn't know where she was, and Vecna was just telling her how she was just a mistake, how she really fucked up. That's why her friends couldn't be close to her because she just let them be close to her. And once they found out, like, music can really help them escape Vecna, Max just has that true runner's vibes, and she just goes down trying to get to Lucas, and you see all this obstacles. I really saw that as a symbolism of depression, where like things are going to keep coming back at you, and nothing is going to hold those obstacles back, and you just got to fight through it and overcome it and become stronger like that. And we really see that throughout Max, because she really sees the most obstacles and she's just becomes stronger and stronger every episode. Another storyline that we saw was in 11, where she's feeling how she lost her father that she didn't know that is still alive, and her losing her powers. And this is where we see the true like theme of the season, where it's just rekindling with a relationship that you lost. And within 11, that's her power, where she's lost it and she's trying to find her way back to that relationship. And we see this throughout the series as well with Nancy and Steve, Will and Mike. They are rekindling their friendship that they once had, like from season 1. Well, before season 1. But back to 11, where she's getting bullied in school by a couple teenagers who don't understand her situation, and she really fights back. She's going back to her moments from her past where she believed that she's a monster, and she really feels that until she rekindles her relationship with her past, where she really finds out that she's not really a monster, but she's neither a hero as well. It's basically that gray area within us where you're just human, where we make mistakes, and sometimes we make good mistakes, and or sometimes we make bad mistakes. And 11 just learns that, and this goes on to how we just figure out how 11 gets her powers back in the next season. I do want to say I felt this from season 3 mostly, and it repeats itself again where there's too many storylines. I just feel like they could make a spin-off series, I guess, to understand these storylines a little bit more. And let me just explain. I do like how they try to connect every single storyline they give and make it into one true big story. But for this season, it just felt more complex because Steve Harrington, Nancy, Dustin, it was okay as a storyline. It doesn't really get exciting until Max really shines out. And not only that, it didn't shine out again until we figure out Vecna's true backstory. So I didn't really feel a connection with that until Max really shines in that position, and she usually does. So that got me interested the most part. I just felt it could be executed a little bit better. Another thing is that we also see Hopper's storyline, and this is where I feel this could have been a spin-off series because we do not get any explanation on the new characters, and this goes for Eddie as well. Somewhat, we don't really understand how he got to D&D, not really why he's so obsessed with it. I think we could have just got a small intro to him. But for Hopper's storyline, we see him negotiating with a Russian comrade who's a guard in his prison. We don't see that background. We also didn't find out about this guy Yuri. How did he get into this situation? How did he double cross him? It's really something like there's big plot holes where we don't really understand that situation, and I just wish that we would have saw that story more. I felt if we had like a spin-off series just called Hopper and we learned how he survived and why he's locked up, why do you think Joyce is a bad guy in their eyes, because they show a photo of Joyce and be like, is this your boss? And we don't really understand it fully. I feel if we had a spin-off series, it would have been fleshed out a little bit more leading into the effects of season 4. It's alright, I still like it, but I felt it could have been way better executed. The storyline that pissed me off the most was Jonathan, because he's the boyfriend of Nancy, and it really feels that they're trying to make Nancy break up with him and cheat on him. And I really don't like that, because he's the guy that wasn't supposed to get the girl but still got the girl. He wasn't the sports guy. He was just a nerd, just like us. And now he's just a stoner. And I'll see where did this come from, you know? And it's because Steve Harrington is basically the fan favorite and they want him with Nancy. That's the only reason it's happening. But I just feel it was just a cop out, you know? I felt they could have done this way better. And I just felt left out with Jonathan. Because that's basically my life story, you know? The guy who got the girl and is about to lose the girl, you know? I just felt bad for the guy, you know? And I don't think the stoner play out was the right option. And also, did Dr. Brenner die by a Demogorgon? How the fuck is he still alive? At first, I thought he was just an illusion. People kept talking to him. I was like, is this not an illusion? I was like so confused of how he survived. I thought we should have gotten a clip of how he survived, maybe like a flashback real quick. But it just feels weird of seeing him alive, even though we saw him get eaten. It's just things that there's too many characters in these storylines that we can't really flesh them out fully. However, a storyline that was fleshed out was Vecna's storyline was pretty simple, not even complex. It just surprised me a lot. And I know most of you is going to be like, oh, I knew he was patient number 1 and he went to the Upside Down and became Vecna. It was so obvious. Honestly, they did the best way. And I think the best one that really surprised me was that he was related to Victor Creel. I think that's the biggest surprise that I got from that. And I thought the Victor Creel storyline was pretty lame. So a quick summary for the Vecna character. So he was Victor Creel's son, and he started learning that he had these powers at a very young age, and he started developing these powers throughout his years at the House of Hawking. And not only that, developing his killer instinct and his killer psyche even more throughout it. And this is where he learned about his family having those bad deeds in their past, and this is what really got him, because he also sees humans as worthless. He really worships spiders, and this is why he had a real good connection with the Mind Flayer and the creatures in the Upside Down. He tries to kill his family. So he tries to kill his mother, succeeded. He killed his sister, succeeded. He tried to kill his father, but he tried to use so much power that it almost killed himself. And this is where he lands in the hands of Dr. Brenner, where he just went into a coma and Brenner was like, let me get him. So this is where he becomes patient number 1, and he sees that he's too powerful and he's uncontrollable. So he tries to do his powers, make him a nurse within the facility, and this is where he starts creating other children who have similar powers, maybe the same level of power as him, but still controllable, where he can maintain it and able to control them, obviously. And we see that number 1 was trying to really manipulate Elle, make her a little apprentice, and continue on his life, making sure he's able to succeed on killing the world, basically. Making sure humans are basically worthless, because he really sees the concept of humans and time as worthless. He talks about how the days kept going, kept repeating, where it's really similar to Fight Club, when they talk about someone printing out sheet of papers, or someone like basically going to work, coming back, eat, talk, go back to sleep, wake up, and repeat the process all over again. And it's understandable why he felt that way, because that's basically everyday life. And Elle wasn't having it. And it's really funny that his name became Vecna, because in the world of D&D, Vecna was actually having a little apprentice, and the apprentice betrayed him and killed them all. And it's funny how Elle could be seen as that little apprentice and killed off her master, basically, somewhat. And it's a small connection I like to mention. To continue with that, Elle's like, I'm not having this, go away, be gone. And the guy goes to the Upside Down, gets shocked by lightning, and becomes Vecna, and we see him as the big bad of the season. I do like how he kills people, though. It really reminds me of the first kill of Freddy Krueger, where the babysitter just lifted up and went to the walls and getting slashed and dashed. But in this one, it's just more gruesome. Could work on the CGI, but you really feel that gruesome scene of him breaking their bones and all that. And he just feels creepy. Literally, you look at him, he's all messed up and everything, and it just feels weird, giving that Freddy Krueger vibes as well. That they even put some musical tones in his kill sequences or when he's present. I just felt, god damn, they really ripped this off from The Nightmare of Elm Street. And it really feels good, because I think this is a good ripoff from that series. Even we got a cameo from Freddy Krueger himself in the show. I also like how he has even a small connection with Elle, because I think this is the first villain that we had that really had a connection with her, that was really a true connection, not her creating it and she had to fight it. That connection is that they knew each other, she banished him, and he's coming back for revenge. And that small connection really connects us with the big bad, because I'm sometimes rooting for this guy to succeed, but we know that Elle is the hero that we deserve and will win at the end of the series. And this leads into my predictions, and I have a couple. I'm gonna rank these from cold takes, hot takes, and really bold takes where I might be completely wrong. I'm going to be roasted in the comment. So to start things off, my cold take is that we learn more of Vecna's plan. I think we got a little glimpse of that. It's not his true plan. I feel he has something more, like with the gates. Why is he still opening these? Is he really connected to the Mind Flayer? And we'll just see more of that. And obviously, we'll get a rematch between Elle and Vecna. I believe it's going to be in the last episode. I really hope it is. So we're going to see that. So next, my bold take. I think we see Hopper near the end of episode 8. We don't see him a lot. It makes no sense of why we'll see him repeatedly in that episode, because he's still stuck in Russia and they'll just find a way to come back. It could be just a slim montage of him just getting a passport and coming back to the United States. I don't really see that in importance, as this could be the series finale. And that's it, yeah. He goes into the United States near the end of episode 8 or the beginning of episode 9. And I think the show will end on a good note, where it has the best ending that we could ask for, but still find a way to continue the series if they really want to. Now, I might get hate for this, because I would hate myself if this actually does happen. I do believe someone's going to die in this finale. And my hottest take, the hottest of the spiciest peppers take, I do believe Max is going to die at the end. It's mostly because that it makes no sense of why she's writing those letters. I understand that it was the emotional set of that episode, but it really doesn't make sense of why we haven't opened those yet, knowing that she might survive from Vecna. I really feel that we're going to get to see those episodes where we open those letters, because she died at the end, making the great sacrifice and not living with that survivor's guilt anymore. Or it could be just Elle getting the easy way out, where she has to make the greatest sacrifice to kill the greatest villain. And we should see that. This is probably my longest Noah Speakeasy I had in a long time. And I'm pretty surprised. But in conclusion, I can't wait to see Volume 2 in July. I give this Volume 1 a good 9 out of 10 because it was really amazing. I felt they could fix up some things. But to be honest, as a fan, it really excited me to what's to come. And I can't wait to see you guys on the next Nova Speakeasy or the next podcast. Don't forget, hit that like button or Vecna will come after you. And have a good night.